change your wrists, and most people believe it, so they stopped trying. But Persian warriors from 2,500 years ago had wrists so thick they looked like a separate muscle group. Indian wrestlers were crushing opponents barehanded before the concept of a gym even existed. Viking oarsmen developed forearms that modern grip athletes still study. None of them did wrist curls. None of them owned a wrist roller. They weren't even trying to build their wrists. It was just a side effect of how they lived. And once you understand why, you can replicate it in about 15 minutes a day.
The biomechanical illusion. Here is what modern fitness gets completely wrong. Your wrist bones do not grow. That part is true. But bones are not what make a wrist look thick. It is the muscle bellies, the dense fascial tissue, and the thick tendons that wrap around and insert directly into the wrist joint that create that illusion of massive size. Modern training almost exclusively hits the flexors. Every pull-up, every heavy row, every deadlift is just wrist flexion. The other dimensions of the forearm are completely ignored, leaving your wrists looking fragile. To build thick, indestructible wrists, we need to completely rebuild the joint from 5 distinct biomechanical angles. Let's break down the anatomy.
Radial and ulnar rotation. The Persian protocol. Around 2,500 years ago, Persian warriors trained inside the House of Strength, swinging heavy wooden clubs called meals. These clubs weighed up to 40 kilograms and were swung in massive overhead arcs. What does this have to do with your wrists? Everything. The long lever of the heavy club amplified the rotational demand on the wrist joint to an extreme degree. Every swing forced the forearm to aggressively pronate and supinate under heavy load. From a biomechanical standpoint, this activates the pronator teres and the supinator muscles. This exact rotational pattern is what builds the physical thickness on the lateral sides of your wrist, the width you see when someone simply turns their palm up or down. This is the most neglected movement pattern in modern gyms. To replicate this without a Persian club, you need a single dumbbell and a bench. Sit at the edge of the bench, resting your forearm flat with your wrist hanging off the end. Hold the dumbbell vertically by the handle, like you are gripping a heavy hammer. Now, slowly rotate your palm down toward the floor. Pause at the bottom, fighting the leverage, and then rotate back up past neutral until your palm faces the ceiling. That full, loaded rotation is one single rep. The goal is mechanical tension, not speed. Do 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps in each direction. Use a weight where the last 3 reps force your stabilizing tendons to work at maximum capacity. The extensor expansion, the Indian mud pit. The second dimension of wrist thickness comes from the Pelwani wrestlers of India. These athletes produce some of the most physically developed forearms in human history. They train their grips by driving their bare hands deep into heavy, wet clay and mud, forcefully opening their fingers against massive resistance over and over again. They were unintentionally targeting the extensor digitorum, the muscles that run along the top of your forearm and pull your fingers and wrist backward. Look around any modern gym. Absolutely nobody trains their extensors directly. But the extensors are the exact reason a wrist looks thick from a top-down view, which is the primary angle people actually see when they look at your arms. If your extensors are flat and undeveloped, you literally only have half a wrist. The modern biomechanical replication for this is the rice bucket. Fill a deep bucket with dry rice. Drive both of your hands deep into the center, keeping your fingers tightly together. Once submerged, forcefully spread your fingers apart, opening your hands against the crushing resistance of the rice. Rotate your wrists, make fists, and continuously fight the friction. Work for 2 to 3 minutes straight without stopping. By the end of the first round, the top of your forearms will be on fire in a way no other exercise can produce, simply because you have never loaded these muscle fibers in their natural anatomical function. If you do not have rice, wrap a thick, heavy-duty rubber band around all 5 fingers and extend outward for ultra-high reps. 3 rounds of 2 minutes will trigger massive extensor growth. Connective tissue density. The Viking endurance. Viking longships were engineering masterpieces, but they ran purely on human power. Oarsmen rowed for hours at a stretch against the brutal, unrelenting resistance of the open ocean. The oar handles were thick, unforgiving, and demanded a constant, sustained grip. This was not traditional strength training. This was pure endurance. And biologically, that distinction matters enormously. While heavy, low-rep sets build muscle size, sustained endurance work builds connective tissue density. It forces your tendons, ligaments, and fascial structures to thicken and calcify over time. This is the difference between a wrist that looks pumped for 20 minutes after a gym session and a wrist that looks dense, thick, and permanent even when you are just sitting on the couch. To replicate this localized connective tissue overload, you need a towel and a pull-up bar. Throw a thick towel over the bar, grip both ends tightly, and simply hang from it. The thick, unstable, dynamic grip of the towel forces your wrists and hands to sustain microtensions continuously, rather than allowing a steel bar to artificially lock your joints in place. If you are not strong enough to hang, wrap the towel around a sturdy post or squat rack and perform leaning bodyweight rows. The goal here is not muscular failure. The goal is maximum duration under continuous joint tension. Do 3 sets, holding the position for as long as humanly possible, working your way up to 60 seconds or more per set.
Part 4. Ulnar deviation leverage, the missing dimension. If you want to truly maximize the illusion of a massive wrist, you must attack the flexor carpi ulnaris. This is the thick band of muscle and tendon that runs down the pinky side of your forearm and inserts directly into the wrist bone. When this tendon is thick, your wrist looks incredibly wide from the front profile. Ancient blacksmiths developed this naturally by swinging heavy hammers all day, constantly forcing their wrists into a state of ulnar deviation. To replicate this leverage-based growth, you need an asymmetrical load. Take an adjustable dumbbell, but only put weight plates on one side of the handle. Grip the empty side of the handle so the heavy weighted side is pointing forward. Keep your arm completely straight by your side. Now, using only your wrist, point the heavy end of the dumbbell up toward the ceiling and then slowly lower it back down toward the floor. Because the weight is displaced far away from your hand, it creates a massive leverage disadvantage. This forces the connective tissues on the lateral sides of your wrist to adapt, thicken, and reinforce the joint against the shear force. Perform 3 sets of 10 to 12 slow, highly controlled reps. This specific angle is the secret to building functional, real-world wrist stability that prevents injuries during heavy bench presses and deadlifts.
The Brachioradialis tie-in, the illusion finisher. The final piece of the puzzle is anatomical proportion. The Brachioradialis is the largest muscle belly in your forearm. It originates up on your humerus, crosses the elbow joint, and its thick tendon inserts all the way down at the radial styloid process, which is the bony bump on the thumb side of your wrist. If this muscle is flat, your wrist will always look disconnected and skinny. By building maximum volume in the Brachioradialis, you create a visual bridge of thick muscle that flows seamlessly down into the wrist, masking the narrow bone structure. The absolute best way to isolate this muscle is through the reverse grip easy bar curl. Grab an easy curl bar with an overhand pronated grip. Lock your elbows tightly to your ribs, curl the weight up, squeezing your forearms at the top, and take a full 4 seconds to lower the bar on the eccentric phase. Because your hands are pronated, your biceps are placed in a biomechanically disadvantageous position, forcing the Brachioradialis to do all the heavy lifting. Do 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps, focusing entirely on that slow, agonizing negative phase. The 15-minute hypertrophy protocol. 5 angles, 5 biomechanical mechanisms, and absolutely 0 empty gym fluff. To integrate this, you do not need a dedicated forearm day. Add this 15-minute protocol to the end of your upper body workouts 2 to 3 times a week. Dumbbell hammer rotations, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Rice bucket extensions, 3 rounds of 2 minutes. Towel hangs, 3 sets to absolute failure. Asymmetrical ulnar deviation, 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Reverse easy bar curls, 4 sets of 8 to 10 slow eccentric reps. Be patient. Give this protocol a full 8 to 12 weeks before you judge the results. Connective tissue, tendons, and ligaments adapt much slower than muscle bellies due to lower blood flow. But when that density finally builds, it is permanent. If you are tired of training hard without seeing the aesthetic and functional results you deserve, it is because you are neglecting your body's true biomechanics. I have structured all of these scientific principles into my 8-week beginner fitness guide. It is a complete, step-by-step system designed to build real, historically grounded strength and proportion. You can grab it right now through the link in the description below. Stop accepting your genetic limits, train the mechanics, overload the tissues, and I will see you in the next video.